Sometimes, friends, things just don't go according to plan. You gotta just learn to roll with it. Your girls got to learn to roll with it. Today, I thought we would do a very chatty kind of vlog style, go through my whips, do some chatting, do some coloring. If you are not here for chats, I am probably not for you, my friend. But if you love chatty style videos, be sure you give this video a thumbs up. The first book that I've been coloring in the past week is actually a postcard book. It's Emily Lederholt Oberg's this cute postcard book, Christmas Coloring Postcards, 20 festive holiday cards to color, sign, and send. So my plan with this book was to send postcards to people that, well, I only have 20. So my plan was, you have to be really high up on my list to get one of these. Friends, it's the middle of December. So it's December 12th right now. So how on earth am I going to get these done and send them? I don't know. Maybe we'll work on something in here today. So let me show you what I've been working on. I did add a little bit more to this. You might have seen this in another video. I have so many videos on my channel now. I'm not sure which one it was. So I added another layer to the background. This is all Neocolor 2s in the background. There is Neocolor 2s everywhere. Is there? I'm lying, friends. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's Neocolor 2s in the background. The tree and everything else is Tombows, because that's what I've been vibing these days. Then the tree and the banner and the presents and the stars all have Polychromos on top of it. This isn't done. I don't really know why I went with this color scheme. I'm not really liking it, but I also know there's so much more I can do to really bring this to life. But there's so much on here that I'm going to need to fix the page first. And then I believe the background is done. I do really like the background. I am such a fan of Neocolor 2s. I love the way that they blend together and it creates this kind of awesome speckled gradation effect. And so, yeah, I'm going to spray this with my fixative and keep working on it. But friends, I don't think this is going to be done this year. Next year, I'm going to have awesome postcards to send to somebody. So that's the first one I've been working on this week. And I got one more. So I just started this one. I really love this. I think it's super cute. I did have to go back to my Christmas coloring plans video to see what was I even thinking here. And this is my first experiment with zig markers. So I did pick up zigs from my Black Friday haul, but they didn't come until after I put out my Black Friday video. So I swatched them out. Your girl's learning. And so I did this. I really like it, but I don't know where I'm going with this. Right now it looks like daytime, but there's stars. So I don't know. I don't know if I want this to be a really dark background also. So I'm not sure. We might work on these today. The zigs went down really well. They feel so different than the Tombows and definitely different than acrylic markers. The brush tip is so long. So it's going to take some, I don't know, time to get used to it, because I can see for me especially it would be really easy to color outside the lines. But I do like the way the color's laying down. So these are the two whips that I have in Christmas coloring postcards that I worked on this week. Next up, we have Sarah Renee Clark's Vibrant Wilds. I love using this book kind of like as my experimentation book for different mediums. Because it does. It takes mediums so beautifully. It's some of the best paper I've ever used or worked on. That's completed. So I didn't do any more on that one. I didn't do any more on that one this week, but I started, and I know, friends, you're going to tell me I should tab my pages. Oh, is this it? I did tab it. So there you go. So it's this double page spread. I have a thing for double page spreads. This is an experiment that I was doing with those Ohuhu watercolor markers, and I consider this to be a fail. They feel fine, and they did not bleed through in this page except for a little tiny bit right there. But they bled through in every other book that I tried it in, so I sent them back. And I don't know, maybe I was too quick to do that. But now that I started this double page spread, I'm really interested in working more on it. So I think I would want to go in here with either my Tombows. The Tombows are probably my favorite, but they don't work in a lot of books. Either the Tombows or the zigs. Friends, the jury is still out on the zigs. I don't know. I don't know. So this is a whip that I've got in Vibrant Wilds from Sarah Renee Clark. So maybe we'll work on this. Next up, we have Johanna's Christmas by Johanna Basford. We've got a lot that we're doing in this book. So a whip that I was working on this week. Well, this is a whip, and I did work on it this week with you, my friends, is this awesome polar bear page. Friends, we have so much to do. There is a poll on my community tab for what we should do this Tuesday. I'm not sure when this video is coming out. I believe it will be before my live stream. I live stream on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Come join the party. You should. We have a lot of fun. So we're going to have a lot to do, but I'm really vibing the color scheme that I've got going on. This was my inspiration. Yeah, I know I veered. I veered pretty far away. So this was the inspiration for the presents, and I wanted to add the pink, and I think I kind of nailed it, and I wanted this to be very cohesive for a color scheme, and this was my inspiration for the bear. So I really deviated with the background, but that's fine. And this is Neocolor 2's, just one layer. That's why it looks like this. And this is my reference photo. I'm very big into reference photos. I did not take this photo of this polar bear. Most of the reference photos I use, I have personally taken. Since I am not sketching this out and painting this and selling it, I do believe it's okay to use it as an inspiration photo. If you took this photo, I hope you're okay with that. I would give you credit, but I don't know who it is. But I'm just using it really for where do I want to put the shadows. That is a really great thing to do if you're striving for realism. I really want to draw your attention over here on the bear. So I did alcohol markers. Well, we did. Alcohol markers on the bear, one layer, flat coloring. Then we came over the top. We started coming over the top with Prismas. And was it Prismacolors? I believe it was Prismas. Was it Polys? No, it was Prismacolors because I planned it out. I had them already selected. So I haven't done anything extra anywhere else, just on the bear, and it has so much more to go. But look at the dimension that we're already achieving by layering over the top of the alcohol markers with pencils. I'm such a huge fan of that. I will say I know a lot of my awesome friends are not doing that, and they're just doing it all with alcohol markers, and that's awesome also. My brain, I'm a layerist, meaning I love to layer. My paintings have typically 40 to 60 layers. This is going to end up having probably less than 10, but probably close to 10. Your girl likes layering. That's how my brain thinks. So this up here, this was such a fail. So somebody had recommended that I use a colorless blender. I have used colorless blender before over Neocolor 2's, and it worked great. But that was in a Johanna Basford book. It didn't work here, and I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't work. It would not blend at all. Like, it didn't blend. So then I tried to come over the top with water, and it didn't work. I'm not worried about it. We're going to do something fabulous to finish this off. So, and I don't know what I'm doing with the water, but I really wanted to pretty much get everything based in. All of the ribbon work is based. It's just very light gray, like a silvery gray. My plan for that is to create like silver, more fancier ribbons. And I really wanted them to be silver instead of gold. So that's the vibe I'm going for here. And I think I'm going to actually make the stars silver. I really want to stick to this color scheme. So we're going to do a lot with shading. And we're going to do it together if it wins on the live stream. If it doesn't win on the live stream, then I'm going to film the rest of it so that you will still be a part of it. So if you haven't voted yet, be sure you're voting. I'm going to tally up the votes before I go to bed on Monday night so I can know what I'm doing for the day. That makes sense. So get your votes in, friends. Oh, that's not all I have in this book. It is not all I have in this book. This is another whip that I've been coloring in this week. I consider this page to be a fail right now. But wait, friends, it is going to be so fabulous. It's going to be fabulous. I have the entire page was based with gelatos. I definitely don't like them. I sent them back. I came over the top with this side I used water. This side I used a colorless blender. Look at the warp. Look at the warp on the water side. Can you see that? On the non-water side, the colorless blender side, it feels amazing. But this side, it doesn't. So then I came over the top of both sides with a gray alcohol marker. I did film this whole thing and I considered just ditching the footage, but I have had a lot of my friends say they really want to see how I'm going to save this page, or that, it looks great, just give it more time. So I am going to put that video up. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because it's very long and I was frustrated when I was doing it, and there's a lot of detail here. So if I'm going to show how to save a page or snippets of it, if it's not going to be the whole thing, if I'm going to speed it up, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I based all of the houses, one coat so far. There's only one, is there? There might be two coats of Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils. And I don't love it. I don't love it. Like, they don't feel like Prismas, and I know they're not. And they don't feel like my polys. My polys are my favorite. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I do feel I am going to ditch the Black Edition on the page, and I'm going to use something else instead. So stay tuned for that. And did I start another one? That wasn't in this book. Okay, so those are my two whips that I have in Joanna's Christmas that I worked on this week. Friends, I think Small Victories is the book I have been coloring in the most. I don't even know how many whips I have in here, and I've been working on these whips like almost every single day. I'm starting a new one. I love the size of this book. I'm gonna probably have to buy another one because I'm just breezing through this so quickly. So that I did not work on this week, and I'm sorry I didn't tab them, friends. I'm doing a lot of things and I'm not perfect. So this I did last week, and these I did yesterday, I believe. So this top row, what did I use? These are zigs. Are they? Yes. So no, these aren't zigs. What are they? Derwent. These are my Derwent ink tents. That's right. And I did film a video doing this. So the top row, I used the Derwent with water. And the bottom two, I used the Derwent with a colorless blender. There's a significant difference with how it feels. The top is the Stedler, and I showed that in one of my videos. I can't remember which one. I showed what was that? The Christmas coloring planners haul. It was one of those videos. Maybe it was the Black Friday haul. I think that was it. If you missed that, you definitely want to watch it. So now that I have made these the same colors, now I don't necessarily like the page because it doesn't make any sense. But that's okay, because what I'm doing is experimenting with all of my new art supplies. I really like the Derwent ink tents, but I don't have enough colors. Friends, I have like the smallest set. Of all the times for me to not have my full set syndrome issues, why did I deviate from that with the Derwent ink tents? I don't know. I need more. There's definitely not enough color. And this is just one layer. I didn't try like going over the top again. I just wanted to get it down. So that is my first whip that I worked on this week. Then, friends, we have so many. I did not do any more on that. That's a previous week. That was the week before. I know. I should tab. But your girl's not. I didn't do that work on that. Okay. This right here. I worked on this week. Did I? I did. What is this? This was the Stedler pencils because it's so muted. And I came over the top with Prismas. So this is done. These are something else, and I don't remember what medium it was. I think they were all pencils. I might have used Tombows. I'm going to have to go back and watch my video to know. Next year, friends, I'm going to be so organized. I promise you. I want to be organized for me. I really like the vibe of the muted colors, and I totally made this monochromatic, so I really like that. That was not this week. Okay, friends. My friends, look at this page. So all of this was done this week. These were Tombows, the top three. Those were the top four were Tombows. These and this were the zigs. And I'm wanting to see, does it bleed through? So, can you see this over here? You're probably zoomed in. So I will zoom you in a little bit more. Do you see all of the bleed through? Everywhere there was a Tombow, which is really interesting that it bled through because I've used Tombows before and they didn't bleed through. I used it in Wonderful Wildflowers, but just one coat. I did go in with more than one coat because I'm experimenting. Did I? No, actually, this is just one coat. This, I'm going to come over the top with pencils. The zigs are very, very vibrant, but I can feel it. I can feel it on the page. But is that necessarily bad? They're super juicy. They're super juicy. Oh, that was the Tombows. Yeah, and this one over here, I just didn't feel like starting yet. So again, this is my experimentation book. I'm not looking for these to be award winners, but I really love the owl. I think the owl is super cute. And I love that I made those leaves, the ornamental leaves that I never know what to do with, that I made them so bright. I think it's super cute. So there's that whip. So those are the whips that I have in Small Victories from Johanna Basford. Next up, we have Romantic Country by Erie. And I've got 2 whips that I worked on this week. So I'll show that one second. This is the first one. This is one of my pages I want to complete for Christmas. And I'm getting really close. So I based this entire page with Tombows and they worked amazingly, like so well. 0 bleed through. The paper feels no different. They're not as vibrant, I don't think, as the zigs, but I love the way that they went down. I've started to come over the top with the Prismas and look at these presents, how vibrant they are, and the gloves. I did the pants. I did the scarves and the presents, the gloves. Did I do that present? Nope. And I did, look at the ducks. Look at the duck scarf. I love how this is coming out. I'm such a fan of Tombows in these books. So I don't know how I'm going to finish the rest of the page. I'm actually not very inspired to finish this page right now because there's so much going on. But if I just lean into it, like I did everything in red this day, if I just did all of the blocks, the stones that were the darkest color in an evening, like that could be something really fun. What I find is if I have my entire pencil set in front of me and I'm trying to do the whole picture, I am lost. So if I went in and said, I'm just going to work on these like wooden features, I really like that. I like that. And I could see doing like little snippets like that. What do you think about that? Would you want me to film it? I don't think I filmed anything in here. And sometimes, if I'm being honest, sometimes I don't want to film something so I can just completely zone out. But I also could see the benefit of showing how do you bring like wooden like features, how do you shade them? If you're interested, let me know. Let me know soon and I will make it happen. And I just started this one last night, my friends. This is in my Christmas plans and I said I'm going to get this one done. I love how she's coming out. She is just so cute. The zigs are super vibrant. I will say with the Tombows, I cannot look at my swatch cards for them. And I've gotten to be where I can kind of guess because there's not very many of them. With the zigs, I have no idea. Like it does not look anything like what you think it would be. So I'm using my swatch decks. I did swatch them out, so I'm proud of myself for that. So this is 2 coats on the tree and it does not feel good. It would have been better before I went in with the second. And maybe I shouldn't have tried to do like some of the details with another coat, so it might even be 3. Down here doesn't feel terrible, but I can feel it. Do you know what I mean by that? And I can feel it on her, or with the Tombows, I could not accidentally. If you know me, friends, then you know I'm very messy. It is totally coming through on the other side. So what I'm figuring out is it's really important to use the test paper that's in a book, and I'm not doing that. I did that one time in Johanna's Christmas, one time. And it was the first page I colored in there. Why did I decide to do it in there, but I'm not doing it anywhere else? I don't know. Because I'm going to stick with Tombows in this book. I'm going to stick with Tombows because even where she is, and I only used 1 coat, it's coming through. So that's pretty disappointing because I really love the vibrant colors. So I bought a smaller set of the Tombows And so do I want to go out and buy more Tombos just to use in Erie's books? No, I don't. But it's very satisfying to color. I kind of like the brush tip better on the Tombos, but if you're looking for a paintbrush vibe, the Zigs are better. So isn't that crazy? I think it's that in these books, I'm not able to like paint with it the way that I want. I actually had 2 Zig markers open and I was doing the tree and I was so excited thinking it's going to work and it worked, but not 100%. So I'm disappointed. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the page. I feel like it's going to need a background, so I might try my soft pastels in here. I haven't tried that. I don't think I want to use the Zigs anymore on this page, but I might. I might just, at this point, base the stuff in with it. I don't know. I don't think I want to work on this today because I do not have a clear vision. Those are the ones that I worked on this week in Erie's. Can I not speak today, friends? And don't mind my little microphone right up over here. There's really not a good place to like be because there's not any place I can go right now, but it's coming soon. Everything I worked on this week in Romantic Country by Erie. I have one more. Hidden Oceans. I know, what? Hidden Oceans by Rita Berman. I said in one of my recent videos, I'm like fished out. I'm fished out. I am fished out. So what did I work on in here? Just one page. Brief. And is it tabbed? Oh, it's over here. It is tabbed. Hooray. I actually went opposite with what my original plan was. This is my inspiration. Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cubes. My original plan was to make all of the shells look like presents or ornaments. That's what I wanted to do. So I was going to do this color scheme for the shells, and I was going to do this color scheme, gold, for the background. Last night, there I am sitting down, chilling out, watching you guys on YouTube, pulled out my polys, and I decided I would rather make all of these look like brass, like metal, and I'm going to do the background in purple. I love how it's coming out. There's so many colors that I'm using inside of this. And of course, I cannot color in the lines at all. This morning, my husband wanted to see what I did with the turtle. He's like, let me see that turtle. Did AI do that? I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, no, I did it. Well, I didn't draw the turtle. I colored it in. And he said, you don't stay in the lines. And I erased the main things, which I didn't do in this section here yet. And I said, it's where? It was barely like this much. Dude, seriously? Like that was me on my best behavior. You should see it when I'm not trying. That's actually what I said to him. So I do not like pages like this, which makes me, I'm smiling right now because I do not like wallpaper pages. But for some reason, I really wanted to do this. Wanted to do a challenge and make it a thing. So if I approach it like a challenge, everything is brass, or you could say gold. I want to do it. I want to do it. So is this something, should we do this today? Because I am very inspired. I am very inspired. Do you want to see like how I'm getting the metal in? Like this one here is my favorite. There are so many colors in this. I am really happy with how these are coming out. So you know what? This is what I want to work on. It's my show, my rules. Let me know if you'd rather see something else. So let me grab my stuff and let's do some coloring, shall we? I grabbed all of my supplies and I just wanted to show you what I have. So I've got my pencil sharpener. This is the kind you just stick the pencil in and hope for the best. And I have it set to the sharpest because I'm using Polychromos. I have my electric eraser. I love this thing, and you can see I was using it last night. Can you see that? Yeah, I was using it last night, so it's ready to go. And I have my pencils. So, Polychromos. I also have this colorless blender. This is a Prismacolor colorless blender. So all you need are these colors. And I'm going to just tell you what I'm using instead of, I'm going to tell you what I'm using instead of popping it on the screen because I want to be able to be real with you guys. And I'm not going to be able to sustain putting out videos as often as I do if I always have to do some significant editing. Are you guys okay with that? Will you please let me know? So these are the pencils. I will also have them listed in the description box of the video. So I have a dry red. This is Avaline brand. I'm not sponsored. I'm just letting you know. This is a organic biodynamic wine. Friends, it is after 5 o'clock here, and your girl wants to get cozy. Grab any beverage that you like. If I'm not your jam, I'm sorry. But if I'm not your jam, you already know that, so you're probably not here. So I'm going to just start up at the top with this one. And I'm going to do this row so that we can do it exactly like this. So we're going to start with that top one. When I'm approaching something like this, there's a lot of colors in my hand. So brass does contain all of these colors. It could actually contain even more. I'm going to take the black out for now because that's just like more towards the end. And I'm going to take the orange out right now because that's more of an accent color. And I'm going to take the very light one out right now because we don't need that just this second. So really we need these 4 colors. We've got yellow, green, and 2 shades of brown. Okay, I like to start with a middle value. So what I'm going to start with is the brown color. So this is a brown ochre 182. When I'm thinking about coloring something like this, because I'm a layerist, I really want to build it up. I'm not trying to reserve a bunch of spots for where the other colors go, if that makes sense. But you could leave a little bit of the edge exposed, so to speak. The way that I'm coloring it is that the light is on the left-hand side. That's usually the way I like my light to be. So you could see it really with this because this is more of like a ball. So if we look at the reference photo, you could see, and if this is a more exaggerated, so I could build up more layers with this, and I might, but for right now, I thought it was a good place to start. So with these, I'm kind of approaching it the same. So if you look at my first one, the light's on the left. So this side is in shade. And it doesn't necessarily have to make sense because it doesn't make sense because what is this? This is some type of a shell. It's not an ornament, but I'm in a Christmas kind of vibe. And I cannot believe I'm coloring this because it's not something that I'm drawn to at all. So I'm trying to remember what I did. I just did it yesterday. So how can I not remember? I feel like I did each one at a time. So I'm going to stick with that. So I have that middle value. Now we're going to go in, and you could either choose brown or green, but I'm going to grab the green. So this is olive green, yellowish 173. And see how like sideways my pencil is? I'm not going in like this. I'm not digging into the paper. I have it sideways. And I'm going to just put this color over it and put it like a little bit more exaggerated on the right-hand side. And I'm also not going for an exact replication of what I did over here because they wouldn't look exactly the same because they're going to twinkle different ways with the light. We can always tweak things as we go, which is something I love doing. I use my electric eraser a lot of times as almost like I'm painting. So that is how I can bring back my whites. You can absolutely reserve them if you want. That's not the way my brain works. See how quickly I put that layer down. So that's 2 layers right now. Now I'm going to go in with the brown. This is walnut brown 177. Paying more attention to the right side and the bottom. So I'm leaving the tippy top over here. I'm kind of thinking if the light is over here, it's shining that way because I want this to look more rounded. I care more about dimension, and I probably put too much on there. That's okay. I care more about dimension than necessarily a shadow. What am I trying to say? Than a designated light source, like there's a candle right here and trying to do some kind of effect. I'm all for that. But that's going to raise my stress levels because I really have to do something versus I'm just trying to relax. Your girl's trying to relax here. Okay. What layer is that? That's 3. So that's 3 layers. Now I'm going to go in with the lightest color, and this is Naples Yellow 185. I am going to sharpen that one. While it's sharpening, cheers. I love that sharpener. Look at that sharp point that it gives. Good grief. I'm going to concentrate this towards the left side, but I'm not going to just do that. I'm going to go over all of it. But because this color that I have down over here is thicker down here than it is at the top, it's going to look different up here than it does down there. It's so important that when you're doing this, you're working with colors that blend together. I did not test these out first. You absolutely should not do what I'm doing. What I mean to say is you would be better off swatching them on another piece of paper in the back of the book to see, do you like the way that it looks together? Can you get the effect you want with the layers? I know these colors really well because even though I might not have specialized in pencil paintings all these years, it was oil paintings. These are oil pencils and they do react so similarly. Already, this is 4 layers. Look at how good this looks. I think it looks, hang on, let me pat myself on the back. I think it looks fabulous. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with one of our other colors. This is the orange glaze 113. And I want this to not be over the whole entire thing. So it's in the light. It's shining right there. I'm thinking about up over here a little bit. I want this to be right over here. I don't want to color the entire thing with the orange because I'm going to lose the effect of what I'm going for. Maybe a little bit here. Right over there. And just a little bit there. Okay. If you want this to be an even cozier vibe, you could use one pencil, shade the entire, like color the entire page with one, then switch pencils. You could absolutely do that. But if I did that, we're not going to get through 1 or 2 of these. And I really want to show you guys how I did it. But I might do that for the rest of the page because it's so relaxing. But at the same time, I like changing pencils. Like I actually really like doing that. Now we're going to go in with Ivory 103. You could absolutely use white. If I'm looking at this reference photo, there is no white there. It's ivory. You see that? That's the color that's here. And I really like that vibe. I'm going to concentrate this color. Let me sharpen this a little bit more. I really can't say enough good things about that sharpener. And my pencil is sideways. I'm not digging. I'm going to concentrate this on the tips. I don't want to go over the whole thing. This is a very opaque color. It will muddy your colors to some degree. And you might need to experiment. You might want to use, oops, I broke my point. You might want to use a different shade. And the thing about brass, you could go, there's different colors, there are different types of brass. These are not the only colors, but I wanted to make my palette more limited. So we have now put in 6 layers. We've used all of these pencils and it is not done. It's clearly not done. I'm going to reserve the black. We don't need that right now. So now I'm going to go back in with the first color that we used, the 182. And I'm not saying we're going to just keep doing the same thing over and over. We are going to vary it. I'm not bringing this color all the way up over there now. I'm really concentrating down here and I'm not pressing hard. And right over the top of that circle, this thing, not circle, I want to give this effect right here. Do you see how I did that? As if this is popping off the page. And I'm doing that by not going back here or to the side. I'm making my own little ridge here. I'm going to do here, mostly at the bottom, and come right around here. In my mind, I'm thinking like they're indented somehow, like they're a hole on this. You could bring it up a little bit right there. Leave that edge. This one here is probably going to be the one that's hitting the most, being hit the most with the color. And I want to make sure the center is darker. Then on this one, I'm going to reserve that top side and really focus down here. And on this one, thinking about this is the part that's out, that's in shadow, in the light. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I want it to be dimensional. You don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it, but this is a really easy way to do it. This one is going to be pretty dark. If you look at this one, I made it really dark. It doesn't have to be the exact same, but this is the left side. So if we're looking at our reference photo, it's going to be a lot darker, but there's still light and green and orange in this area too. But I don't necessarily have to keep the tip, but I could. I left a little bit there and a little bit there, but not this one. I don't have to do this one the exact same. So much of what I do is the way that I feel. How do I feel in the moment? Versus it has to be a certain way. Now, that is the way I am with art and coloring, unless I am doing a commission for someone else and it needs to look like that. Then I'm going to do it so that it looks realistic. Does that make sense? Now I'm going to go in with the olive green yellowish 173. I really love green on brass, and I'm going over that right side with circles. Really like that. You can see it is very repetitive, which kind of fits the vibe of a mandala or like a wallpaper page. This is not a mandala. It's like this wallpaper vibe, which again is not my jam. How is your day going today? We've had such a busy day. I had a checklist. I'm getting a lot of things checked off the list, but one of the things I did not do yet, and I'm not going to do today, is make pizza. So I make my own dough. I am gluten-free, and my pizza is fabulous. I don't really eat dairy, but every once in a while I will have goat cheese. And it's too late. Like I just ate lunch and it's like 5:30. So there's no time for pizza today. So we're getting the pizza tomorrow, or I'm making it tomorrow. You see that? I'm really loving that. Now I'm going to go in with the orange glaze 113. And I really want orange to shine through on this. It's such a warm color. And if you look at the reference photo, you can see it in there. It's in there, but it's not like these are orange. Does that make sense? I sure hope so. Right over here. Okay, I want a little bit more on this. I'm really liking how this looks, and it doesn't look exactly like this. This has a lot more pigment on it. And I did this in the dark once again, but I think I might even like this better. So what I'm going to do now is I want to go in with some black. So this is black 199. And I do not want to do this everywhere. That's very, very important that you don't overdo this. And I'm doing little circles. Black is a very strong color. But I do think that it's important. It's even more important when something is rounded. You could see it better. And this is rounded inside. So it can be harder to know where to put it. And I don't necessarily think there's a right or wrong. It's whatever you think looks good. I really like how this looks. So they're similar. Again, I'm doing this in the dark, so I went outside the lines. I like it like this. You could use the eraser to pull out some whites, but I don't think we need to do it with this one. And I would absolutely use this eraser instead. So I'm going to say that for right now, I like how that looks, and we're going to move on to the next one. So for this one, we're going to grab that middle value. We're going to grab that yellow ochre, the 182, and I'm going to lightly, I do the little ones later, very lightly. And if you notice on this side over here, just like in my reference photo, I don't like the light to be right on the edge, if that makes sense. So I'm going to very, very lightly, look at how sideways my pencil is. Very, very lightly, with little circles, go over this whole, I'm calling it an ornament. Yeah, my husband is, my house is a total disaster, as you already know. And now we have all of this snow, so it's setting us back from him putting the windows in because it's so cold. So he's taking all of like the shades that we ordered out of the boxes and checking it, and my TV, my new TV that's going in my office, checking that and doing that. It's like so much work. I'm going to go in with the olive green yellowish 173. And I want to get some of this color really towards the bottom. I did get a lot of this from erasing versus me having to do streaks in there. It's easier, I feel, to erase. That's why if I was working strictly with watercolor, I have to do a lot more planning. And I don't necessarily want to do so much planning. Sorry, guys. I can only be who I am. Love it or not. Hopefully you love it. If not, I'm not going to pretend with you ever. I'm not going to pretend and be fake because I'm not going to be able to sustain that. And I don't want it. I don't want to be fake. You see how I put color here and I'm not pressing as hard there. So pressing harder here, leaving that, pressing a little bit harder here. It may not necessarily look like I did that there. So sometimes I vary my technique. And because this was the first row, experimenting. How do I like how something feels? And look what I'm doing here. You see how I'm curving it? Just like that. I'm not going straight. If you go straight, we're losing the roundness. So I'm curving it just like this. And right there. Little circles here. You could even curve around like that. You could do that for the whole way, but this is not the most comfortable. I would almost want to, it's actually not that bad. I was going to say I would almost want to turn the book. I think where a lot of people can get stuck with these Polychromos is it needs to, like in 2 layers, it needs to look like it. And then the pencils are not going to react the way you want them to react if that's all you're giving it. If I'm only doing 2 layers, I'm not going to get the effect I want with these pencils. They're meant to layer. I believe all mediums really are. Like, there's probably like an exception to that rule somewhere. See how I'm putting more down at the bottom and I'm not going all the way across in here? What this is doing is having this edge look like it's lower and this is standing on top of it. That is how we're getting the dimension. Very, very light pressure. Hardly anything going on. Coming down over here a little bit. Very lightly. It's so light that you're not going to see pencil marks because it's too light for it to show any kind of a pencil mark. Once again, look at my angle. It's not straight. If you go straight, you lose the curve. Painting curves to look dimensional is one of my favorite things. It is so satisfying to see it really, like, I am just so hyped up right now. Plus, I'm sitting in my kitchen, so it's bright in here, and I'm surrounded by lights, of course, because I'm filming. I see so much more clearly than I did last night. Like, I could do so much better than this, but I really like how this works. And it's not necessarily done. I just didn't want to wait because it's a whip. It's a whip, right? My rules. I'm really glad that I am working on something I've already started because I have a habit of just starting things. I love starting things. I don't necessarily like finishing things. Now I really want to see that orange. So orange glaze 113. And I don't want to put this over the whole thing. So very, very lightly. Oh yeah. You see how that one thing I just did, do you see the difference right there? How much more realistic? Go back to the reference photo. If I just used only 3 colors, we're not going to get this with it. We're going to get something good, but it's not going to be as good as it is when you throw in almost like an unexpected color. Like, why on earth is she putting orange in there? Because it's there. It's there. There's so many colors, and this is a photo. If it was actually in front of me right now, it would be better. It would be better because I just printed that on my printer. A little bit there. I don't want to go too much. I really like what I did on this one, and it doesn't have to be in the exact same place, or it can, depends on how you want to do it. I'm pressing very lightly. I'm thinking about even doing like a brass series or like a metal. Maybe we would just do metal because there's so many different ways to do it and doing it in different mediums. I'm just so inspired to create content for you. What do you think about that? Do you like that idea? I hope so. Because I want to do it. I want to do it. Okay, I don't want to put too much more on because I don't want this to be orange and I really want it to shine through. So set that to the side. We're going to go in with that brown, walnut brown 177. Now for this one in particular, it's a little bit different. Like this was more repetitive. When this is going to take more thinking about how do I make this whole thing look round? It isn't that it's just light and dark because that's flat. It's more of a sticker. This does not look like a sticker. So I'm going to do that by leaning into my reference. So we have darkest, we have dark, not darkest. We have dark, dark, light, light, dark, very dark. Okay. We don't just have light and dark. You actually have some light over here and you have some dark over here. So that's my inspiration, is that I want to put some of that. The sideways actually works really well like this. And really, just like with that vase, it's going to be the darkest towards the bottom, but I still am going to want light in there. And this side, sweeping. See that? Even before I go across, look at the difference that makes. And if I come over here, now when I go across with my little circles, so satisfying. So stinking satisfying. I'm pressing a little bit harder right here because I really want to define this. I really want this to be like, it's not a hard edge, but more defined. So I'm pressing a harder, but I'm not pressing hard. And I also want to do the same thing with this because it's on the bottom. Follow the lines the way that they're laid out like this. Very, very lightly. Like barely touching the paper. Now we're going to go in with the yellow, the Naples Yellow 185. And I'm going to concentrate this color more towards this side with little circles. But as I'm doing the little circles, I'm following the shape that we have here. Look at that. Come across like that. And this one. And this, I see this is a little bit more in light. We can also pull more out with the eraser. And a little bit over here, not a lot. Definitely want to have some here. Can almost see a little bit over here. This doesn't necessarily have that rim. It kind of can see it around here. But I like that effect of having just a little bit of like the ambiance light around, helping to make this look like it doesn't just stop here. It keeps going. With Polychromos, I'm going to come down over here. You really have to be in it for like the journey. You got to be in it for the journey. And just know you don't have to get it everywhere that you want it to be right this second. Now we're going to go in with that brown 177. Really concentrating at the bottom. We're building it up slowly. If you're light-handed with this, you can put so many layers on and it could just look so natural. Notice how I'm not putting this in the middle. And if you look here, this is kind of looks like it's in the middle, but it's not straight. Okay, I actually like it if it's over a little bit more. So I'm using my artistic license to do that. See how the coming across, the effect that that's having? I'm so ready for my office to be ready. I'm ready for my office to be ready. I want to be in there. We got the pull down thingamajigger that my camera is going to go on over my big studio table. I am so excited. I can't wait to show you guys. I know you guys have been asking for a tour and you're going to get it. You're going to be with me there every step of the way, but I got to get in there. I got to get in there, friends. I'm dying to get in there. I'm so excited about it. I've been waiting for just so many years for this. Like I've been waiting 8 years for my house, but I've been waiting now almost a full year of sleeping in the living room and having my entire bathroom, bedroom, like everything is just torn up. They can't even deliver packages here. I had to go to FedEx and pick stuff up because they don't know where to go because I don't have a door. Like it's boarded shut. I'm trapped. Friends, I'm trapped. Help your girl out. Help your girl out. Okay, I'm loving that. We're going to go back in with the orange glaze 113. I really want to look at how sideways it is. Really want to, oh yeah, look at that. This is like, it's amazing. I amaze myself. That sounds so messed up. Not me, like I'm so fantastic, but just this effect. And essentially what I'm doing, my reference photo is right here and I'm looking at it and I'm looking at this because I was looking at that. And I'm also just letting my mind wander as I'm doing this and thinking, where would it be? And why don't I try? Why don't I put a little bit there? And how do I like it? If I don't like it, I can come over the top with a darker color or I can erase it. I don't want to be afraid to experiment. I also love Rita's paper in her books. Like the paper is just so good. It's just so good. I am thinking I'm going to need to expand my mind a little bit more with these works because I have such a tendency to be so literal. And I see so many amazing friends of mine, or not yet friends, but I want to be friends, in your pages, and they blow me away. And I need to expand my mind because it just doesn't work like that. Now I'm going to go back in with that green, olive green, yellowish 173, and it needs a lot more. It needs a lot more. I'm not pressing hard. I'm just going over what I already did. Little circles. Oh, yeah. I'm liking that. Sweeping. Sweeping. This is very relaxing because I'm concentrating on this one, not on how many things I have to color on this page. That is very helpful to look at it that way. Now I'm going to see what this color does here because I don't remember. This is the Ivory 103, and I'm going to concentrate over here, but I feel like I'm going to want to bust out my eraser. I love that eraser, dagnabbit. It's because of the texture that it creates. That's how I did this, and this was with that eraser. And see how this is not really going down? We are going to need it. Let's do it. You want to do it? Let's do it. So, this is a big nib too. You can change your nib size. I just following. You see how I'm curving it? And I'm going to go little shorts. Add one there. I want to pronounce this. Let's start with that. Maybe just a little right there. Let's start with that. I'm going to go over with the yellow first with 185, the Naples yellow, sideways. Oh, yeah. I really, really like that. You see how it caused this awesome effect right here? Let's grab that ivory and see what we can do. 103. See if we like it there. Oh, yeah. I'm really concentrating it on this left side. And I'm going to kind of go right over what we did with the eraser. And put a little bit over here. Up on the top. I'm going to go back in with that orange glaze 113. Try to get this a little rounder. It's a little bit too harsh of an edge right here. So on that side and that side. So maybe even I'm going to just come across to soften that. I can always go back in with the eraser. I definitely wanted more of that orange color here. What a difference being in the light makes. The other thing I find that I do a lot is I do really like to switch between pencils because I'm building up all these different layers. This is the olive green 173 because I'm looking over here and thinking it really, like, this is almost a white line in the middle and I don't want that. So I'm going to put this green down. Just like that. Accent it there. Over there. Yeah. I do want a little bit up here. I'm noticing right here, this is a little bit too harsh of a line. That can happen with the eraser. So I'm going to grab my colorless blender, my Prismacolor colorless blender. And I'm doing little circles. This really just kind of moves the pigment around a little bit. I like the colorless blender for this because it's not muddying it. It's not just the white going down. Do you guys use this? I tried a couple of others. I haven't tried the Faber-Castell one. Somebody did recommend that I try that one. I haven't. I love the Prismacolor one. I'm willing to try. I'm definitely willing to try. Cheers. Now we're going to go back in with the Walnut Brown 177. It's very methodical. I am pretty tired today. I slept really well last night, so there's that. But I'm feeling like, I don't know. I'm in the Christmas spirit, but we also don't have any decorations up because there's no place for them to go. We've never had a tree up, like not a full-size tree. We've done like a little tabletop tree before, but most of the time we've been together. We've been under remodel of some kind. So I'm really looking forward to having a dedicated space that I can just celebrate. I want lights. I'm very drawn to lights. So I want to have party lights in my office. For sure. Oh yeah, I'm really liking that. Little circle sideways. That looks a little harsh, but we're going to come in with the orange. 113. And let me sharpen my pencil. See how sideways I am? That's exactly what I want to see. I don't want there to be a sharp line going down. And over here, I'm really thinking about the shape, that it's curved. Oops. I'm not pressing hard. Down over here. Okay, I'm liking that. It's just going to need to be a lot darker in some spots, and it's going to need a lot more yellow and a lot more green. So first, let's go in with the yellow, the 185. Really want to warm this side up. Yeah, like that. I want to warm up here. Down here. Okay. I'm going to go in with the black now. 199. I really want to see how we can. I'm very light pressure here. It's very important. I'm not digging. I'm not digging. Just looking at. Right now, this looks like it's sunk in instead of on top. So I want to be very mindful of that. So if I go sideways instead of straight, I like that better. Definitely. It's okay to do that a little bit here, but I don't want to put too much. Up over here. We're going to grab that green, 173. And I'm going to go, let's see, trying to get arm out of the way. Man, I'm going to stand up too. It is looking really good, I think. What do you guys think? If you like these style of videos, I sure hope you give me a thumbs up so that I know. And I hope you let me know that you like it. Is there another medium you want to see me do something like this with? Like just chill, like a chill vibe, but chill in color? I like that this one is down here and this one is here so that they're not just stripes. Pressing a little bit harder on this side. You see how right there? Oh yeah, that made a huge difference right there. I'm going to grab that colorless blender again and just really tweak this part. Little circles. I'm feeling the paper feels fine. There's a lot of layers. I don't even know how many did we put down. I did not count. I kind of counted with one of them and I think we were up to like 7. There's at least that on here. Another thing I found, I did not spray this page, right? If you feel like you've went as far as you can and it's not letting you put any more down, just fix the page. You could come in and fix the page with a fixative and then come back over the top again if that's what you want to do. I know I put a lot more of the lighter color on this. So I think I'm going to go back in and I'm going to just do a little bit of erasing. So since I want it to look round, I'm kind of just going to go. I really like that. I like that addition of what I put here. I actually don't have it there, but I really like that so much. What I might do to finish this page is I might actually go and do all of them at the same time for the future ones and then do my finishing touches because this does not have finishing touches at all. I really like that right there made this part here look more dimensional. Can you guys see that? And I could put these lights and then come over the top with orange and the orange will stand out more. I like that so much. I just got to do it over here. Boy, I'll clean the, oh, I'll clean this up later. I just erased a little bit too much right there. Friends, I'm human. You know that about me. You know that about me. Okay, I'm going to go in with the Ivory 103. Little circles. Just like that. Over here. Oh, yeah. I'm really vibing that. I'm going to leave that for the orange. Put a little bit of this right here since I erased it. I'm here for it. Then I'm going to grab the yellow 185. Pressing a little bit harder. Really liking that edge right there. Following the contour. Following the contour. A really big part of something like this is choosing what is a hard edge and what isn't. Having hard edges here and there is actually helpful with making it look more real. Like sometimes keeping a line on there can help. We're going to go in with the 113, the orange glaze, and I'm going to do some sideways, going with the grain there, that is. Put a little bit down here. I'm going to do this right over here since I erased it. I do think I am going to end up coming over the top and spraying it so that I could do more.
Miss Show, you need two.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. 2 is enough, yeah. My husband is making me more space in the living room for my coloring stuff because it's all over my office that it's hard for me to work out in the morning. I have to shift things around. I just don't have enough space. I definitely don't have enough space. So I'm doing little circles. Sometimes I go from like circles to the left and circles to the right. There's really no method to the madness. It's just, I feel like it helps my hands to not be tired. And I'm going to kind of sweep across a little. I don't want to put too much orange over there. Okay, I'm really liking that. We're going to grab that yellow color again, 185. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It's kind of like I know it when I see it. I know what I'm looking for when I see it. And actually, what we're going to do, Terry, you're switching pencils so many times. I'm going to grab the brown ochre 182. This was what we first based it with, remember? I want to just, this edge is just bothering me. That's better. That's better. What are you working on right now? Let me know in the comments. Do things always go according to plan for you? Because they don't with me. Just fix that edge that I messed up, which you never really mess up, do you? I'm going to say no. It's like my husband and I were talking the other day, like, how does somebody fail at something? Because you just stop. If you decide to stop before you achieve what you want, I still don't think that that's failing, but then you just gave up. And I don't like that feeling inside of me if I don't believe. I don't believe. I believe I believe, good grief, can you talk, Tara? I believe everything is possible. Right? Not I believe anything is possible. I believe everything is possible. That's how I want to live my life. And it's not perfect. I am an imperfect human. And I get sad sometimes and come down really hard on myself. And then I, shake it off. I color for my mental health. I love to work out. I'll go for a run or I don't know, sit on the floor. And I'm not the best at meditating, but maybe I'll get on my vibration plate. I'll put on one of you guys. I love watching your shows. You probably have one or you're thinking about having one, right? We're all so similar. I feel like the community is just so flipping awesome. I really like that. Friends, I just can't stop with the eraser. It's like, well, Tara, you're putting the color on and then you're erasing. I just want to just do just a little bit. Let me see right here. The fish in Johanna Basford's book, that's essentially how I did it. This is the Naples Yellow 185. I was just putting color in, erasing it, putting color in, erasing it until I got what I wanted out of it. And that's how my brain works because that's what I do with oil paintings. And I think it works in books. And this edge right here does not want to do what I want to do. So I'm going to get that colorless blender and I'm going to make it listen. I'm going to tame that spot right here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to fix this page, but I don't want to spray it yet. It creates like a different tooth on the page when you spray it. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. I think it needs more darks. Let's grab the black. 199. Just a little bit. Oh, I like that. Be down over here. Not too much. Maybe not that. I don't necessarily like that. Let's do this over here. So light-handed right now. Very, very light-handed. I don't like this right here. Okay. What are we going to do, friends? We're going to grab some green. 173, olive green, yellowish. This is the only amount of pencils I want in front of me, because otherwise I'm going to be totally overwhelmed. If I have like 150 pencils in front of me, I'm going to be like, what now? So focusing on one thing at a time. When I was doing the oil paintings, I sat down for the day with a plan to do one thing, one or two things. So maybe I was going to work on the eyes of a dog, and then that's it on that dog. And then I'm going to grab another dog or cat or whatever else I was working on, wolf, and then I might do the paws or part of the paw. I might do a layer of it. Otherwise, for me, I can overwork something, which is kind of what I'm doing right there. I feel like I'm close to like really overworking it. So I think I'm not going to do too much more on this one, because this isn't going to be able to handle what my paintings can. If I'm working, I've done this, spend hours working on something and then I don't like it. And so I take my cloth with turpentine and I just wipe it off. Then I've deleted everything that I just worked on. I'm going to go that walnut brown 177. The paper is not going to tolerate that the same. I'm not going to get away with that with the paper. Believe me, I would do it if I could, because that's the way my brain works. That's the way my brain works. I'm always thinking about the curves, and I went right outside the lines. Like that. I'm just thinking about varying it, you know? And it doesn't matter because I'm going to put it back around it. So Tara, just don't worry. I'm going to grab that black 199. And I can feel right here, I can barely put color because there's so many layers. But even that little tiny bit that I just did, wowzer. Wowzer, friends. That little tiny bit that I did right there is a game changer. I think it's a game changer. What do you guys think so far? So glad I've working on this. How long have I been working on this? I've been working on this, I think, for at least an hour. And this is in real time. So I think this is all that I'm going to do right now in this page, because there's other things I want to work on. And that's okay. It's okay that I started doing this and I don't want to do any more of it. Last night I did all of these. I wasn't filming at the same time and I was just zoned out, sitting on the couch, chilling out with you. Today I'm working so hard. I'm so focused and I'm thinking, I'm overthinking is what I'm doing, because I didn't write down what I did. So I'm just thinking in the moment, how can I make this look like what I want? And because I'm talking about this, friends, you know what I'm going to do. If you were here right now, you'd be like, don't do it, Tara. But I am going to do it just a little bit. I like that. I like that. I said I'm going to stop, and here I am, and I just keep going. I keep doing it. This is the Ivory 103. It's because I stood up and I looked at it, and I was like, I think it needs something. Sideways. In little circles. I do think that addition, I have it over here, but it looks different over here because it's, again, I'm not doing, this is not a paint by number. This is paint with your heart. There's nothing wrong with paint by numbers. I've never done one, so I don't know. But this is like painting in the moment with how you feel, painting with your heart. And it was telling me I needed a light source here, like not light source. I needed to be light because I want this to look curved. I don't want it to be flat, light and dark, and, you know, just middle value in the middle, if that makes sense. I'm going to take that yellow, Naples Yellow 185, and I just want to kind of brighten this up a little bit. This is helping it to look rounder. Oh, yeah. You need darks and lights to go with middle colors. I did decide I wanted to lay that down sideways here. You know that you can burnish a page with more than a burnisher and white. You can use another color. There's so much color on this. Like, I don't think I can get more on it, but I'm so happy with it. What do you guys think about this style of video? Do you like this? Did you like seeing my whips? I really want to do this weekly so that you can just see, wow, look at all the things Tara's working on. I want to hear from you about videos that you would be super excited to see from me. Wow, this was really fun. I had such a blast with you, friends. If you made it to this point in the video, will you put, I don't know, some type of a star emoji in the comments so I know you made it this far? Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know if you liked it. Thanks for spending time with me today, friends. I love you guys. Happy coloring, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.